Do you have some big idea for, say, a novel that you want to write, or a business that you want to start, or some other big project that you want to do during your life that you haven't started yet because you're waiting for the quote-unquote right moment? Well, I've got news for you. There's never going to be a right moment. Whenever we think about doing something that we've never done before, we get a little feeling in the pit of our stomachs, and that's fear. The problem is that we don't notice it as fear. We only notice it when it comes out of our mouths as excuses, right? We say to ourselves, oh, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'm not ready to do that yet. I'll do it next month or next year, or oh, I don't have time to do that right now. Stephen Pressfield, in his book, The War of Art, calls that feeling resistance. And the job of an artist is to defeat that feeling of resistance and create what they want to create anyways. Stephen Pressfield says that art is a battle. It's you versus the blank page or the blank canvas. And your job is to get something onto that canvas or that page. Most people are afraid of losing the battle, so they never get started, right? They're afraid that they'll sit down to write and they will be defeated by the blank page. Or they will start to paint and they will be defeated by the blank canvas. A professional artist's job is to get over that and to sit down to write or to paint or whatever anyways. Being a professional artist is a little bit like being a warrior, right? When a warrior goes into battle, he's still afraid. He's not like, totally fearless. It's just he gets over the fear and he charges into battle anyways. Similarly, an artist has to get over their fear of the blank page and sit down and create art anyways. As Stephen King says, amateurs sit around waiting for inspiration. Professionals just get to work. The cool thing about creating is that as soon as you get started, your head fills with ideas, right? So if you're writing, you'll start by writing one line, and then you'll write another line, and then you'll have an idea for more and more and more lines, and before you know it, you'll have written an entire novel. This is one reason why some people find it a lot easier to write under a deadline, right? Because if there's a deadline, they have to write. They can't sit around procrastinating anymore. But what do you do if you don't have a deadline? What do you do if it's just you versus the blank page with all the time in the world? Well, you got to have some internal standards, right? You've got to have discipline. A good example of this is Stephen King. Stephen King has a rule where every day, no matter what, he writes 1,000 words. And most authors, a novelist who writes 10 books in their life is considered pretty prolific, right? 10 novels is a lot. Meanwhile, Stephen King has written 65 novels. The point is that if you treat creating like a job, not something that you want to do, but something that you have to do, and something that is your duty to do, then you'll take it a lot more seriously and you'll get a lot more done. So that's it for today's Theo's Book Club. If you're new around here, my name's Theo. I make brief videos like this one, going over the big ideas in the books that I read. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. That tells YouTube to show it to more people, which I would greatly appreciate because this is a growing channel. And if you like this video, if you want to see more, if you want to see my face pop up in your feed a little bit more often, you can hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video, and until then, I hope you go create something cool.